Good afternoon, class. My name is Stevie Walker, and the movie I'm reviewing is Invincible. It's the story of Vince Papali. He's a 6'2", 195-pound Philadelphia native. He is a diehard Eagles fan. At the time, he was married. He was working as a substitute teacher for his high school, his old high school. He was a part-time bartender. Played football, backyard football with his guys or whatever. One day he comes home, his wife's like, "Oh man, you're out here playing games and stuff, playing football. How are we gonna make money?" He's like, "We got this, we're cool." She's not trying to hear that. So the next day he ends up getting laid off and goes to work the bartender job, comes back home, and his wife has left him. Left nothing but a note, took all the stuff and left him. So, he's mad or whatever. And at this time, the economy's kind of down, you know what I'm saying? 1970s, people are in the war, strikes going on. So to boost morale, there's a new head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He decides to have an open tryout. And while Vince is at the bar, his friends are like, "Man, you're out here doing us dirty, out here in the park. Why don't you go do the pros like that?" And he's all like, "Nah, man, I'm not good enough for all that." And they end up convincing him to go out there and try out. So he's like, "Man, I ain't got nothing to lose." It was like, even just for a little while, you get on the field. And he got on the field, you know what I'm saying? He wowed the coaches, ran a 4.5 40-yard dash, which is actually pretty good. And he caught a couple passes, juked a couple guys out there, made him look bad. And end up the head coach gives him a roster spot for training camp. So Vince is all like, "Man, whatever." You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make the team. And all his friends and family they're all excited just because he's, in training camp. Well, it ends up that he's out here in training camp, you know what I'm saying? He does pretty good, actually. Makes it through the entire preseason, embarrassing guys, taking guys' spots. So really none of the teammates like him. But the fans love him, the city's rallying behind him. The head coaches, you know what I'm saying? He loves the guy because he's tough and gritty, and ends up making the team for in the first season game. Actually, he gets whooped up pretty good. They throw him around, beat him up, or whatever, and they're all like, "Come on, Vince, we done took a shot for you, and you're out here, you know what I'm saying, making us look bad." So he gets all mad or whatever, gets in his feeling, but his friends and family end up rallying behind him and getting his head back on straight. Like, "Vince, you can do this, man. You got this." So he ends up in the second game. He's learned a little technique from the training camp, and he uses it, makes a couple plays out there, makes a couple tackles, and uh, forces a fumble and returns it for a touchdown. And the crowd is going wild. I mean, it's just electric in there, and the coaches are like, "Yeah, man, this is what we've been doing, trying to get some energy back in the stadium." You know what I'm saying? Some rally behind this, behind the program. So I mean, pretty good movie, inspirational movie. It's about dreams coming true. Like, anybody you can do whatever you set your mind to, basically. You know, so a couple mental skills in the movie. I put that during depressed times, he was a ray of hope that dreams can come true. And he was not only motivated his friends and family, but the entire Eagles fan base was with his relentless effort and character. The definition of motivation is direction and intensity of effort. I put the direction of effort as Vince Papali was attracted to and seeks out the opportunity to play for his favorite team, the Eagles. Intensity of effort is shown as he gives every ounce of energy he had to accomplish his dreams, at times sacrificing bodily injuries to do so. I believe in this movie he used the achievement goal theory by using outcome, task, and social goal orientation to accomplish the feat. I mean, at first he compared himself to Eagles players, like, what I'm saying, "I'm not good enough. I can't do this." You know what I'm saying? These are professionals. I've never played in college. I haven't seen. He had literally no experience out there, but he ended up, once he got in the training camp, he was like, "Man, you know what? I can run with these guys. These guys ain't all that." You know what I'm saying? We already sorry last year. So I mean, he ends up believing in himself. You know what I'm saying? Motivating himself into believing that he can play with these guys, and which gave him an advantage there. You know what I'm saying? And next, I put in training camp, he used his determination and will to find a way to stick with his dreams even through adversity. He did everything from altering his gear, like he in one drill he was getting beat, you know what I'm saying, by a couple other special teams players because he felt like his pads were wearing him down. So he got some smaller pads and equipment and took some pads off, and equipment managers all like, man, you're gonna get hurt out here. He's like, it's not gonna matter anyways because I'm not even gonna make the team. So he ends up doing that, gives him advantage. It levels out the playing field for him, and it not only increased his performance, but it gave him a slight advantage. And I put finally, he used social goal orientations while his friends motivated him by believing in his abilities and dreams. He also used social goals when the players and head coaches rallied around him during training camp and practices. Because at times, he was getting whooped up pretty good out there. They was, knocking his head off really. And he ended up learning a tip from one of his dorm roommates that helped him adjust to players. Well, really to be prepared for what was coming. He could tell by the whiteness of their knuckles if they were rushing at him or if they were going to back off and like kind of pass block. But I put the movie portrays appropriate strategies of motivation with simple gestures as encouraging words from friends, families, and strangers. Because after his wife left him or whatever, it was a new girl at the bartender at the bar. She was a bartender at the bar he worked at, and she ended up liking him or whatever. She's a Giants fan, but she liked him. She's a real football lady. Liked him or whatever, and he's out on a date with her, and strangers all like, "Man, Vince, you're the man. Woo woo, all this, this, you're doing great. We love you. Just boosting morale and as a light array of, I don't know, array of sunshine, really. Just brighten up the day for the Philadelphia. It was really depressed times back then, basically. I know that pause was awkward. Um, I put the major motivational piece in the movie would be a little boy. He's riding through town. A little boy, he notices a guy with the number 83 jersey on, which was his number, and he's just thinking to himself like, man, I can inspire young people to follow their dreams. I can motivate them to follow their dreams. So I mean, that in turn motivated him to believe that he could actually do what he's doing. Give him the belief that he can accomplish his dreams. And I put inappropriate strategies of motivation would be the naysayers, because he had this guy, man, I swear he was a negative Nancy. He was just straight hating on him. He was like, every time Vince would do something, he's like, Vince, you're not gonna be nobody. You just like us. You're nothing after this. You're not gonna make the team, and just hating on him the whole time. End up Vince make the team. This guy's just mad because he's not doing anything with his life. But they end up becoming good friends back again, and everything was all right after that. And also the entire coaching staff, because none of them voted for him for the final roster spot. It was the head coach's decision, and he went against the grain, went against everybody, and stuck his neck out for Vince. And as well as his teammates, because none of the teammates wanted him out there. I mean, obviously, this guy, he's 30 years old. He's coming out here making y'all look bad, taking y'all spot. I wouldn't want him on my team either. He's out here taking my money out of my pocket, basically. But I mean, in conclusion, I would use the motivational techniques in several different ways as a fitness leader. The first and most important technique would be to simply support an individual by encouraging them to continue accomplishing their dreams or goals. Secondly, I would praise them, their efforts. If they're working hard, just tell them they're doing a good job. That's enough motivation right there. Just encourage somebody. Encouraging somebody is a lot more helpful than people believe. Like lending out a hand. Also, if you see them improving their performance, just mention that. Just any encouraging words, kind words will help someone in more ways than one. It helps their mental aspect. It helps them believe that they're making the right choices, that they're doing the right things, even if it might not be perfect. Just, you know what I'm saying, the thought that someone cares about them, their well-being, will boost their morale basically. And if someone is discouraged, I would, take initiative. Like if they're down, be like, Vince, come on, man. I'll show you the way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to be a leader. Sometimes it takes someone else stepping up to the plate for you to realize that, I can do this as well. Like, him seeing that little boy running around at A3, he's like, man, this little boy is looking up to me. You know what I'm saying? I can, if he's looking up to me, then I know I can just handle my business on this field. Which in turn, he ended up making a couple good plays out there, ended up having a good career for himself actually. But a couple things I want to say about the movie before my time runs out. It really actually didn't happen like that. This guy Vince Papali, he actually played semi-pro and professional football before this. I mean, he was a track star in college. Just a couple of facts about him. In his career, he had two fumble recoveries and one catch for 15 yards. And actually, he didn't have a touchdown because back then you couldn't run touchdowns back. But whatever, he had a touchdown. But he ended up having a good, solid career as a special teamer. Played 41 or 44 games. They voted him as special teams captain in 1975. Um, his career actually ended with a shoulder injury. Probably from playing with them little pads on. They told him, but hey, sometimes you gotta make sacrifices out there. Do what you gotta do to win. But overall, I believe he had a pretty good career. I mean, it's a very inspirational movie to me. It lets me know that anything I put my mind to, I can do it. So I mean, I believe it was a very good movie, and I will use the motivational techniques throughout my career. I mean, I use them already. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and sorry for the awkwardness.